Good morning.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Yes. Thank you for joining us from all corners of the world. Hi, Kathleen. Amy. Nice to see you again. Margarita, thanks for joining us again. Mitch, you're here all the time. That's great. Rick. Awesome. So we're here. We're on day 3 of Adobe Live with Alissa Suzanne.
Yeah. Hi,
Thank
guys.
you so much.
Thank you for
doing
having me.
this.
Oh my gosh.
Can you believe it's almost to the end?
Yeah. I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
It's like an accomplishment.
It is. It is. How's it been so far?
It's been great. I thank you to Adobe and to the chat room for taking an interest in learning about Adobe XD and UX UI, all from me. And yeah, it's been an honor. So thank you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's been wonderful to have you here. I've really enjoyed, the past couple days working and seeing your craft and just seeing how you execute, how you think about design, how you apply colors. So if you are just joining us, this is day 3. We've got day 1 and 2 available to watch and replay anytime you'd like throughout the week.
Yep.
Will you go back home and watch it later on?
I'm typically one of those people that, like, after I do something that's like recorded or anything, I'm like, I do not want to watch that. I don't want to like hear my voice or anything.
It's actually really good to go and check them out sometimes. It
is good.
Because I think you can kind of just get an idea of how you present yourself, how you talk about work and stuff like that. But definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Maybe wait a few months.
Yeah. Maybe a few months.
Awesome. So as I mentioned, Alissa Suzanne's here. We're wrapping up day 3. I'm Mark Reisen. We can do a little bit of recap. Just a couple other things. We do have a giveaway, so chat to win. All you have to do is say hi, let us know where you're from. You can volunteer ideas, you can solicit input and feedback, but really it's just that easy. You chat to win. Our giveaway today is a XD designer kit, and so it comes with pencils, UI stencils. It's got a pointed notepad. It's got an XD logo on the front, so it's really cool. I've got one of these. I actually use the stencils at work, which is really nice. And then we'll be doing a portfolio review, so we won't be doing a challenge today. In case you are just joining, we just got out of our XD daily challenge. So yeah, portfolio review. We'll probably touch that probably in maybe midpoint, maybe into the second hour or so. And yeah, so let's do a recap. Let's talk about where we started, what we've covered so far, and let's get into it.
So to briefly introduce myself, once again, for those of you that are new, I'm a graphic designer, product designer, art director. I have my own company, Scribble Pie, or business, that I started less than a year ago. And so I'm doing that full time now, and it's a pretty rewarding experience to work with my own clients and to kind of craft that on my own. So a little bit of history. I worked at a nonprofit for 5 years and led a design team there as a graphic designer, and then went to a remote agency after that, where I worked with a bunch of nonprofits across the country, and led a design team there as well, but it was all remote, which was very interesting. So we worked a lot on Slack, and and then I launched my business to do that full time. So that's what I'm doing now. You guys can find me at scribblepie.com is my website, and my username for mostly everything is scribblepie on Instagram and Twitter, and so that's me.
Awesome. And how cool is that you've started your own thing?
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I'm involved in a lot of like networking groups, and one of them in particular is MIA Boss Babes, which is a female entrepreneur group in Miami. And they like promoted it this morning, and I think one of the girls is watching, or a few of the girls. So hi.
That's so cool. At Atlassian, the company I work for, we just recently had an event which was about women who kick ass in tech.
Yeah.
And so it was really good. We had a couple guest speakers and had really nice attendance, but it was a really good opportunity. So very cool. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Cool. So that's a little bit about me, and then to cover up cover what we're doing today. I'm designing a gym app that will allow its users to book classes, track their progress, and stay encouraged. So that's the goal. We've gone
Awesome.
through a few of those pages already, and I can definitely show you guys right here. So we covered the wireframing that I started with on the first day, and of course wireframing is very important and helpful within the process to just kind of quickly get your ideas out on paper or iPad or tablet. Some people even wireframe with an XD or Photoshop, and you can import a Photoshop file to XD, which I should be doing that today.
Awesome.
So there's a bunch of different ways to wireframe and just get ideas out quickly without doing a very developed design. So we covered my wireframes. Should we show those or?
Yeah, absolutely. Just going to say hi to a couple people. Simone, Fran, ciao tutti, buongiorno, come stai? We got a couple people from Italy.
Ooh, Italia.
GJ, Greg, thanks for coming back. I think Greg was our winner on day one. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I think our random winner. Brent, nice to see you here. Luisa, Rafael. Awesome. Really nice to see everybody here. Thank you so much for joining us.
We talked a lot about Italy yesterday. I don't know if that person was here yesterday, but we covered our study abroad or your graduate school stories.
Yeah, we both lived there at different points in time.
Yes.
But yeah, Italy's a wonderful, wonderful place. Awesome. Germany. Tulum. Hey, Omar.
Oh, Tulum. That's nice.
Cool. So yeah, let's go over some of the sketches. It's been great to see these, by the way, just because with your sketches, which we'll be able to probably get on camera here shortly, it's a really good way just to demonstrate your process. I think it's great also just to share with the community how you start your process, how you move through your ideas. And then I'm a huge proponent for, just huge supporter of sketches just because I think it really helps reduce the time that you can spend in a tool to help get your ideas out and then move really quickly. So.
Yeah. And don't worry about how bad or good, how bad you can sketch. So I know a lot of people get flustered with that, but you can present just a quick thing like this to a client and it'll definitely get your point across much faster than designing a whole thing and spending time on that. So yeah, this is where we started on the first day. This is the navigation portion of the app. What you'll see kind of when you open up the little hamburger icon. So we got our little profile there and a welcome intro, a countdown to your class, how to check in, and then your navigation, which from here we would go to this page, which was intended for a filter, like a class search, and you can filter by the instructor / class type, the day of the week, which we came here and we did day of the week. So you pick a day and then you go to find classes. And so the user can choose between how they want to find a class. And then from there, we would go to the results of what they picked for their day and what's available for that day and how they can book. So today I'm just going to be basically, if the user clicks on one of these buttons to book a class, we'll have a little pop-up with a blur behind it, a background blur, and that'll just say you're booked, and it'll kind of review what you just did. So I thought that through a little bit more yesterday of what the content should be there, and I think just recapping what you just booked is helpful. Maybe a calendar button to add it to your calendar, to just keep track of your class schedule, and a modify link if you need to cancel it or change the time or whatever. That would be an option. So that would be a box, and then you just click out to navigate throughout the rest of the app. So I guess we could get started on that, and then, yeah, let's do that.
That sounds great. Let's do it.
Oh, so I was thinking about names as well, and kind of reviewing some of the ones that were offered in the first and the second day, and I liked Body Tuned, so maybe we could call it like Body Tuned Fitness. How does that sound?
That
to
sounds
everyone?
awesome. Yeah, I can't remember who submitted that idea, but let us know who that was. Raise your hand, drop
Raise
an
your
emoji.
hand. Body
Just
Tune.
let us know.
Or if you guys hate on it, then let me know too. But I kind of like Body Tune.
Cool. And
so.
it looks like the design's evolved a little bit.
Yes, it's also evolved. So I cleaned up a lot of stuff yesterday, just like tweaked minor things here and there. So I actually like reorganized how this would look, and kind of also did research yesterday too, and looked at like booking apps and fitness apps as well, and realized the book button should be on the right side, kind of just thinking through like the flow of the way that the user reads, so reading left to right, so starting with a photo and then the information there, so the time, the description of the class, how long the class is, and then a link for more, covering that question someone had about what if the class is like a long description or a long name.
Oh, you mean Advanced Plyometric Calisthenic
Yes.
something by Vladimir?
Yes, by Vladimir or something. Yes. So that would solve that issue. So we would just have like a more button and maybe like another like pop-up screen that just describes what that class is. And then from there, I think once you read through what the class is, then you'll have a desire, or the user will hopefully have a desire to book the class or keep scrolling. So I think that makes most sense to be on the right for an action. And then I think it's also helpful to just include how many spots are left in the class as well. So just to kind of create a sense of urgency for people to take action, and to know like, hey, I should probably jump in.
It's a really, really nice addition. I'm really happy just to see how the design's evolved. I know you had book on the left-hand side, and being considerate of user reach zones as well as thumb placement are really nice considerations. Scarcity
That's also true.
is also a really good product principle to help drive engagement and user activity. So by displaying I think they call it visible metrics, but it's a way to kind of show, look, there's only 30 spots in this class, and there's 2 spots left, and so it's a good way to provide visibility into your availability to book that class, but also it's a little bit of a scarcity of like, oh, I really want to be a part of that. So it's a nice way to help you arrive at a decision.
Right, exactly. And I just like thinking through like the times of the day was like, oh, maybe it'll become more spots available once people go to work. So I changed up the spots there. So so that was kind of how I reorganized that. I also made all of the typefaces and the headers consistent, so we have no issues there anymore with like caps and lowercase and differentiation there. So everything is actually organized within a character style over here. So I'm really liking how this has been refined. I also changed I changed all the names of the instructors to my friends' names. So, and like the photos kind of match like the style of the class too. So
Awesome.
yeah, so I did that, and what else did I clean up? Yeah, it was just character styles. Oh, and I added a little bit of a gradient to the back as well. I think I had like a solid blue there before, so there's like a very light gradient. And just like, I think I made this mint color slightly less jarring and obnoxious. So it's a little bit more softer on the eye.
You've reduced the saturation in the blue that you had originally.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So it's always good to go back and look at your work with a fresh pair of eyes and see how you can improve it and make it better. So always refining and tweaking. But then there's the alternative where the saying is a good artist knows when to stop.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess there's a fine line between how much is too much.
Yeah, it's a good balance.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So we can do the confirmation page once the user clicks on book. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do it. Hi, David. David says he really loves the color palette.
Thanks, David.
We do too.
Looks like the color palette in the back of your profile photo, actually. So I can see why you like it.
Hi, Kay. Thanks for joining us. Rodney, thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
And we are 13 minutes away from our Chat to Win. Chat to Win is basically just an opportunity for a random contributor, commenter who's currently chatting on Behance with us in the community to be selected to win a random gift.
Mm-hmm.
And today our gift is a XD design toolkit with all your design needs.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's dotted too. I like
It
that.
is, yeah.
That's fun. Okay, so I'm just writing in, reminding them of the date that they signed up for, day of the week, the date and the time. Shoot. I was thinking maybe there could be a more creative way to say you're booked, something more encouraging. You're in, or you're on your way to your fitness goals.
Or way to go.
Way to go.
You did it.
You did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe we should do that. But I still want them to know that they've booked a class. So maybe how can we say you're booked or you're in the class, but be more encouraging about it?
How about we've got you scheduled? Or
Got
you're all set for your class.
You're all set. I like that.
I think I said this in the first episode, but
You're all set.
copy or good technical writing is something that every designer should spend a lot of time learning and crafting at some point. Really, really good copy goes a long way for a product experience.
Yes.
No sweat, you're all booked.
No sweat. You're all booked.
That sounds awesome.
I'll do that one.
Nice suggestion, Garen. Yep. Tim agrees microcopy is important.
Or you're booked. No sweat. You're booked. That's fun. Okay.
Hello from India. Hi, Ratul.
Or. Okay. Thanks for the copy ideas. In one of my previous jobs, I was titled the short phrase director or something wasn't my official title, but I really enjoyed coming up with creative call to actions. And,
Nice.
I couldn't do I wouldn't say that I'm I can write a whole paragraph or an editorial story, but the small short phrases were my thing.
So buttons or call to actions?
Yeah, or even headlines on ads, things like that. Yeah. They're come over here, short phrase director.
Also, we're doing a portfolio review, so you're able to, I think, submit your work or your portfolio, and then probably within the next hour, we'll pull up that work and start to, Alissa and I will go through a little critique, maybe talk about and just share, discuss some of the work.
Yeah.
Hey, Arlie.
Okay, so
Edu, thanks for joining us. Karsten.
I also added a few symbols to my symbol asset panel for things that I'm using consistently throughout the app as well. So like this little arrow here is in there as a symbol, so if I change it, it'll update. Yeah. So kind of cleaned up my organization too yesterday.
Very cool. Yeah, the asset library is really, really helpful to kind of just streamline your whole workflow.
Yeah.
I definitely find it evolving. I think sometimes it's interesting when you start with that asset library and you have everything populated. It can definitely speed things up.
Mm-hmm.
But I also see it evolves through a design in the same way yours has evolved, where you may have set some original constraints and then you can go back and edit those and then make those changes across the whole product. So.
Right. Yeah, as you see it progress or used, you're like, wait, maybe I should fix that.
Mm-hmm.
Add to calendar button. I know it's like always so helpful to do that. I like use those buttons all the time. I think like in Eventbrite they have an add to calendar. It's helpful.
Did you have to connect your Google Calendar to it, or how does that work? What's the flow?
Yeah, I think it has like I don't know if I'm explaining this right, but it has like a link to your iCal.
Okay.
So there's like an option to do Google Calendar
cool.
or Apple iCal. And so yeah, I use like the iCal link, and then it just ends up in my iCal.
Cool. That's great.
So,
Honor says, nice and clean design.
thank you.
Brent says, I have a deadline and this is helping a lot to finalize my project. Thanks.
Oh, good. What is your deadline? Like, what kind of, are you doing an app or a web app?
Yeah.
Or
Let us know what your project is.
you can throw it on your portfolio and we can review it.
Arlie asked, what kind of music do you listen to while designing?
Oh, I have Spotify. I've been a huge Spotify user for many years, and I always create like design playlists. I have one that's called Get Designed, and I listen to it while I work. When I used to work with like a big team of people, we had like a collaborative playlist that we could all like add stuff to. And we used to say we had like a radio show. There was no radio show, but it was like 4 p.m. was like creative power hour, and we would like blast our Spotify playlist.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm like super nerdy. When it comes to Spotify, I create my own album artwork and I make my own
I've
albums.
done the same, yeah.
So, and all my album names are the Latin phrases for animals.
Oh.
So I try to pick, like I have an album, it's called Fireflies, and so I just pulled the Latin name for it, and it's a way for me to just kind of, I don't know, I guess feel inspired and have some work and like create a theme.
Yeah.
But I don't know how I got started on the animal stuff. It was just something I wanted to just, I think oftentimes I try to think of what kind of mood is the music in. So like if it's Fireflies, it's kind of like background music, a
Yeah.
little ephemeral, and it's just kind of spatial.
Right.
So yeah, it's super nerded out
Yeah.
on the Spotify playlist.
It's fun. I have way too many Spotify playlists. I also am really into old school hip hop. So that's like often in my Get Designed playlist on Spotify. And like the description of the playlist is like when you really need to like crank out a deadline or something.
Oh yeah.
So I just listen to like old school hip hop, and it helps me. At my standing desk, I like dance.
I have one called Trigger Music, which is like
Ooh.
what triggers that kind of like motivation that I use for working out. So there's a lot of a lot of hip hop in there.
Yeah.
A lot of Eminem.
Eminem. Yeah, music is important as you design.
Oh yeah, brain food. Definitely have brain food as a playlist, Karen. That's a good one.
Oh, yep.
I think there's another one.
The calendar. Okay, so I'm gonna just look at how this looks on my phone. Something's wrong.
Deep focus is another good one, Karen.
Deep focus, yep,
Mhm.
I've used that one too. That's good.
Chill step. Can we just
Oh.
talk about Spotify playlists all day?
Yeah.
I love talking about music. Music is such a huge part of how I personally get work done.
Yeah.
I'll throw a little idea out there, but I want to. So I haven't redesigned my personal website in probably 8 years or so. But when I imagine myself doing that at some point in time, I want to associate my music playlists with the work that I did at that point in time. So it's kind of a good way of like capturing, I don't know, maybe what I was listening to at that time or what
Yeah.
inspired me.
That's creative.
So anybody can take that idea. When you do it, drop a link. Let me see it.
There used to be a designer's playlist website called like Designer Mix.
Yeah, I
And-
remember that.
Yeah, and then they went bye-bye. They like said like we're gone. But it was really cool. It was like a website where you could like a bunch of designers could like post their playlists, and a lot of designers created like a like album art for it, and you could kind of just like go through your favorite designers. Yeah, that was a
I
cool
remember.
website.
It was really dark. It was like a black website, right? With
Yeah,
white text.
yeah.
Yep.
So I just dropped in an icon in SVG that I downloaded from the interwebs.
So David asked, do you create your own icons? Do you?
When they're basic and logos and things like that, yes. I would prefer, like I within XD, I've used it within XD, but I really love Illustrator for that as well. And you can drop in Illustrator or vectors or SVG files as well. So yeah, if you were on the first day, these were the ones that I created by hand or by mouse. And yeah, they're pretty fun to complete. This one, however, I just downloaded this, but yeah, this one seems a little intricate to do for today. So, plus it's really cute and creative, so might as well use it. This was actually Mark's idea yesterday. Of course, we could do like some kind of fun animation as well, but I think the icon is also a nice touch.
I just shared my playlist
Oh,
in the chat.
oh, in the chat. Oh, I should do that. Okay.
I really like the confetti party icon.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Let's see. Why isn't it loading?
You've been really consistent also with your color choice for icons, accent colors. Like you're very, you've got a nice rigor in how you think about usage of color, hot spot colors versus call to actions. So really, really nice job.
Yeah, we talked about, I think on the first day as well, just the importance of using the same color throughout for your action buttons, things that are required for navigation. Just to condition your user throughout the whole app, like this is something I'm supposed to click on, or this will take me to my next step. So yeah, that's the purpose of that.
Can you pull in color libraries? Nicole, I think I'm not sure you can pull in color libraries. I know you can create color libraries in XD, and then you can also create color libraries in your your Adobe Creative Library that works between Photoshop and Illustrator, so you are able to pull in colors that way. Nicole asked, do you find it easier to start out with your color scheme rather than doing it simple in black and white?
For me, yes, because I have a graphic design background, and so that kind of stuff just really excites me throughout the process and keeps me enthusiastic. So I like to see color and play with that. But yeah, a lot of people also do like block framing and start out that way. So I think there's different ways to go about it.
Yeah, I think having a great color palette can really push and make your work go a lot further. So I think it's important.
Yeah. Okay, so I think let's try to get this up here.
To open your creative library, you just go to File, and then it will say Open CC Libraries. I think there's a short key for up Command L too. Yep, Shift Control L. David's got it.
I'm using the iPhone, my iPhone, to wire up to the computer to just look at everything, make sure everything looks good.
Awesome. So we are at that time for our Chat to Win video.
Oh boy.
Let's do it. Awesome. So that video signifies our deadline for the Chat to Win. In order for you to win, you have to comment in our chat feed, ask us a question, drop an emoji, say hi, let us know where you're from, all the above. So as soon as everybody and all the flurries of chat gets done, we'll be selecting our random winner through our algorithm, which we've nicknamed Gus. There's a lot of science that really went into it. We probably don't have enough time to go into the detail, but we'll select a random winner and we'll let you know.
Wow, the chat is lit.
Blowing up. Actually, Gus doesn't select the winner, but I feel like it makes sense to rename the algorithm after Gus.
That does make sense. Cool.
All right. Should we announce the winner?
Oh, I didn't even see it there. Yes. Am I doing it? Fernando Nunes.
Congratulations. You're the winner of this XD designer kit, which we will ship to you via Eagles, and it'll show up on your doorstep.
A stork.
Or stork.
Yeah,
It could be stork.
Haven't said that.
California condor. It'll show up either way. But congratulations, Fernando. Thanks for participating.
Congrats.
And it folds up just like that, so you can put it in your pocket.
Did I say it right? Nunes?
Nunes.
Okay. Moving on, I'm just going to create like the loading page, the beginning of the app.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so got an idea for that. Probably this is the time that I should land that name. So Body Tune Fitness.
Let's do it.
Or Body Tune. Body Tune. This is going to be the whoops. Don't want to delete the artboard, I just want to delete all the contents in it. All right.
Alexandra, I actually don't know where Reunion Island is, but I'd love to hear about it.
Reunion Island, ooh. Tell us.
It's 10:30 in India. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for staying up late with us. Just in case it is getting late over where you are, you'll be able to replay any of these videos, I think the next day. So you can start from day 1, 2, or 3. But yeah, everything will be available to watch whenever you have time. So thanks for hanging out.
Okay, so I just dragged in this photo from the Creative Cloud library that I have, and kind of just like that it's different and clean. Everything's flat in the photo instead of just posting like a picture of a person. So let's see here.
So someone asked, what's your process for working like? Do you have a boss breathing behind you? Or do you have the freedom to do your art? And I think you're in a really good position to answer this question.
Yeah. I used to have bosses breathing behind me. There's a whole thing, I guess, on the internet. I think it's a website. The hovering art director. There's some really funny photos out there if you search hovering art director.
It's a real thing.
Yeah. Just like they just stand behind you and watch you work. So if you are a hovering art director, don't hover. But yeah, so now I'm not in that position. I work from home. I have a home office, and I have my own business. So it's just me and the clients, and I have a puppy. Paul's saying hi. So I guess my puppy is like the hovering art director. He likes to hang out. So I'm actually going to create that loading page in Photoshop, and I really like that photo, so let's add it. Can I do, I've never tried this before. No. From XD to Photoshop, I tried to pull in the library, but I can do these libraries here. Okay, great. So the reason I'm opening it up in Photoshop is 1, to show you guys how to drop a Photoshop file into XD, but 2, because this photo, I want to make just like a seamless yellow background, and this photo allows me to do that, but there's like a weird shadow up there, and I just want to kind of like feather it, so there's not like a awkward line in the back or in the front. So a little bit of a Photoshop tutorial today, I guess. Maybe I'll try like, yeah, that. So this is what I'm talking about. I just don't want that really to show up. And then of course we've got like that shirt that I also need to fix. So maybe I'll just turn it.
Get out of there, shirt.
Yeah. Or, nah, I don't want just like one shirt there the whole time. So maybe like that. Still gets all the important things in there. And then I think I need to rasterize. I'll just rasterize it to just feather that, and I'll erase it a little bit. There we go. That was easy.
Magic.
That looks pretty good. Okay. And then I will save that to my Adobe Live Creative Cloud.
That's what it's called. I think I called it something else earlier.
What's that? The Creative Cloud? Yeah. That's what it's called, right?
Creative Cloud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just where you can like put all your files. It's a cloud storage. So loading page. Okay. So let's remove that, and then going to just drag that Photoshop file in here, and it's not working. I think I need to do it like this.
Ratul asks, do you read guidelines provided by Google or Apple for app design? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Both Material and Apple have really, really nice guidelines provided for design and
Yeah.
app.
Materialdesign.io, is that
Mhm.
it? Mhm.
Yeah, I think you find that it helps speed up your work when you don't have to consider new affordances or paradigms or ways to think about things. When on a system level, they can kind of tell you how to think about navigation in tab views and those kinds of things. So yeah, absolutely. It's a really good way to kind of keep up with what's going on.
Yeah. There we go. So yeah, I opened that Photoshop file, and then I can actually like play with the elements within XD, so that's cool.
David, you can import Illustrator files here. You can import vector, symbols, color.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, you can now, I think you can open up Photoshop files, or you can import Photoshop. I think you do it via open, but you can bring Photoshop files into XD also.
Yeah. Okay, so there it is. Maybe get some more of those shoes. Cool. I like how that feels. Similar color palette in the little, what is that? The little dumbbells, the 1 pound dumbbells, and the pants. We didn't really use yellow throughout the app, but I think it still complements the app well. So we'll do body tune, fitness. I don't know why it's on that font, Farah. So we'll do a veneer. I think I want to make that bigger.
We got a really nice question. So, Alissa, can you share with us a little bit about how your process is and when you deliver the final prototype?
Oh boy, the process. The process, of course, varies like with client to client. But I guess you get all the invoicing and the contractual stuff out of the way, and like kind of vetting, I guess, your client, and they're vetting you. And then from there, going through like the whole wireframing process, of course, understanding their goals, their objectives of the app, working with like within the strategy as well, and then developing the wireframing, and then of course, once that's kind of worked through a bit, then jumping into Adobe XD and like actually developing that, like designing that, not developing that, I don't mean coding,
Mm-hmm.
but just designing that, and then presenting prototypes as well is very helpful to just, it kind of animates your experience that you're creating for the user, and it really just helps bring that to life and showcase what you were envisioning from your wireframe, and showcases like the user flow and stuff. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thanks for sharing.
You can, of course, deliver the file, the final prototype in XD, like with a link. You can also like send it to someone's phone, so they can use it within their phone. So that's very helpful.
Are you excited to look at some portfolio submissions
I
today?
am excited.
Yeah, so there's no challenge today, but you are able to submit your portfolio, and we'll be able to do a portfolio review. Deadline for that is in just short of an hour, so make sure to share your work if you want some feedback.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, portfolio reviews were so helpful for me in college, to get all that feedback. I remember they would bring like an agency, like people from agencies to like look at the portfolio. They would kind of like tell me to like redesign my whole project. I was like, all right, I have so much work to do now. But it was very helpful to get their feedback, of course, the professionals. And just like, I mean, you can get a portfolio review at any stage in your career, really. Like, you don't have to be a beginner, you could be a pro and get that feedback as
Totally.
Well. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Down here. I'm creating a quick logo. Body Tune Fitness. Should it be 2 words or 1 word? I think I like the 2 words. Yeah, so that would just be kind of the loading page when the app opens. And of course, when you're a new like a first user, between that there could be an onboarding experience which explains the app as well. And there's like the little 3 dots that kind of just explain what the app allows you to do. So that could be like between the loading page and the navigation. Also like a login page as well for the user to log in for the first time, or just when they sign out and they need to log back in. So those are the kinds of things to think about between your loading page or splash page and navigation or your first page of the app. Like what, I guess, different use cases are for like different scenarios.
Mm-hmm.
So that is that. But I do want to get into the progress page because I'm excited about that and I want to kind of develop that. And maybe if we have time, we can go back to a login page, but login pages are somewhat straightforward. So maybe we can get there once we do the progress. So,
should we show the sketches? Let's do
yeah.
it. Thank you, sir.
So this is more of like a preliminary sketch, first round type of thing that I did, which is why I like cross stuff out and have question marks and like little things that I drew. And it makes sense to me, so I'm gonna explain it to you guys. So I'm thinking about like a timeline where you can upload photos and see your progress there. And it's just really encouraging to do that. Like to see kind of where you started from, and like kind of like an achievement award banner with like maybe a trophy. Maybe I'll design that in XD today. I haven't tried that one already, so we'll see how that goes. And then maybe like a goal setter that helps you pick out like how many workouts a week you want to do. Once you click on that, like a dialog box will appear and ask you like how many times do you want to work out, and you can type it in there. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking as far as that. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So if anybody's just joining us, we're here with Alissa Suzanne. This is day 3 of Adobe Live, and we've been working through a kind of fitness application for kind of local gyms and for anybody to sign up for. Later on in the next session, we have Megan and Zach joining us. So if you are able to stick around, we'll kind of show you the schedule and let you know who else is coming up. But yeah, we'll be here for a good part of the day. So thanks for hanging out. I know I've enjoyed it, Alissa.
Yes, I've enjoyed it as well.
So I had to cue you while you were taking a sip.
Yeah.
Just
Cheers. It's water.
So, and then we'll be doing a portfolio review today also.
Yeah, bring on the portfolios. Okay, so progress. Actually, I need to also change out those little logos too at some point. So let's do the progress page though for now. Lock my layers. Actually, we're going to keep that, and we're going to, this is going to be like a pinned element where you can upload a photo. So meaning like you can scroll throughout and like see your timeline, but this button will stay there. So that's the goal for that. And now I'm thinking about a timeline, vertical timeline. Let's just do the basics for now. I was gonna pick colors already.
Ratul, just saw your question. Is there any chance that we can get this project file? Just to be clear, are you asking for the current project that we're working on? And if so, I'll defer to Alissa to be able to share that. I know that I have hosted before and shared
Yes.
the work.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think what's also really nice is once it gets buttoned up as a prototype where you actually put all the clicks together, then you can drop that link also and kind of enable other people to click through the prototype just like we were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. I'd love for you guys to check that out and see how everything looks like, and you can pick through all the layers. You can toggle between, like, actually I don't think I've covered that, but you can look through your artboards and your layers. Whoops.
And I think you mentioned yesterday you had hopes to one day provide a UI kit.
Yeah, I think that would be a fun thing to do. So maybe one day you guys can use my UI kit. Fingers crossed. I'll make some icons. So I dropped in a symbol here just to kind of use the same like little stroke and such that I've been using. So I think I want for the progress pictures to be a little bit bigger because that'll help as you navigate through. Let's see here. So I actually have two of my personal progress. They're not like progress pictures. They're more just like me in the gym. So we'll drop those in. Whoops. Well, yeah, I can actually I should do a clipping mask for that. That's me. I was really proud of my baby shoulder muscles that day. So I'm going to go up here and where is it again? Am I lost? Oh, mask the shape. Oh, I need to unlink that. Okay. Hopefully now it works. Nope, still not. So maybe, let me just replicate that. Problem solved. Okay. For some reason, like in my many years of design, I can never remember whether this shape goes in front or in back when I mask. I'm always just like, oh, that was all right, and I have to like fix it again.
Yeah, I mean, similarly in Illustrator with the Pathfinder tool, sometimes I just mash all the options until I get the outcome that I want because I'm just like, I don't know what's going to happen. We'll just see how it goes.
Which tool is that?
Pathfinder,
Oh.
the one where it's like the Boolean, where you show
Oh my
the two
gosh,
shapes
yeah.
overlapping.
I never remember
subtraction.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like a lot for me to like process like what's supposed to happen. I know like the first two on the left, but that's about it. Yeah. Same thing with like the blending features in Photoshop, like overlay and multiply and darken. I get those, but then the other ones I can never remember. So I just like click through sometimes. Okay, so here's kind of what we'll do for the timeline. A little circle on the timeline. Maybe we should make it pink. I'm not feeling that, but I'll change it. So line them up 40 pixels away from the little line there. Maybe another line. I didn't quite wireframe out all of that, so I'm just kind of like experimenting right now. I think stuff like small stuff like this is probably just better to do within XD. And then the date in which I accomplished that workout. So let's just say May, whoops, what did I do? Oh, it's in white. May 15th, and I think I would like that to be the header size. Maybe the same for over here. So that's centered with that circle. This is centered with this circle. Yeah. Not sure how I'm feeling about those weird lines. Maybe it should just be like that. I can tweak it.
Yeah, it's actually closer to your sketch now, your original sketch.
This one here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're saying in the sketch it's like that?
Well, no, how you have like the design you have now is closer to your original sketch where you kind of just had the avatar and then the lines going to the timestamp.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yep.
So
Yeah.
I have those aha moments all the time where I'm like, oh, I knew it all along. I just sketched it 2 hours ago.
Right. Can you do dotted lines in XD?
Is there... Let me check real quick.
I would love a dotted
don't know.
line. I might have to bring it in from Illustrator.
I'm sure Tim can answer. Yeah, I'm not sure. You know what you can do is you can create a small line and then do a repeat grid or a bunch of circles.
Well, that's a way around it, yeah. I dig that.
David was on top of it. Adam's on top of it.
What did they say?
Everybody
do repeat
knows.
grid?
Yep.
I'm learning from you guys. Okay. So there's my my mask. I am holding a dumbbell there. I can't really see it. But yeah. But since it's the user's photos, they'll know what each of these photos mean to them. So yeah, so that's what I'm kind of thinking for the timeline. So let me do that repeat grid that you guys mentioned. Like that. Or a dot. Let's do a dot. Small baby dot. And then repeat grid. Oh my gosh, look at those little.
I had to do this last night. It was
Wait,
really,
what happened?
really fun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just gotta shorten.
You did this last night?
Yeah, and I can't remember what it was for, but I had to zoom in, and it was like the littlest grabber ever.
Yeah.
Done.
That's pretty fun.
You did it.
Add some pizzazz. For a second there, I thought it like disappeared forever because the padding was like, but I guess it's because it's so small. It defaulted. Yeah, I like that a lot better. Thanks, guys. Okay. So, maybe we'll just add one more in there. Down here. So yeah, you can kind of scroll through your timeline. I think that they should be closer together though. So they're all 28 apart now. Great. Okay, and then now I wanted to just do like a little achievement award at the top. So let's do no border, but a small shadow. Okay. And that's going to be 39 workouts completed.
Thanks for joining us, Sebastian.
Let's do that one.
We're looking forward to seeing some portfolios today. So instead of a challenge, we're going to be reviewing or providing an opportunity if anybody wants to share their work to just go over some portfolios.
So I'm going to go to the Noun Project, which is a great resource for icons. And I'm going to do trophy. Instead of creating one, I'll just download one. So I'm looking for something that's filled in a little bit. These are all like so intricate. I could do this all day. The one I want is not there. Maybe I should create it.
This is how I decide on a Netflix show to watch. I scroll through every single one, and then I go back up to the top, and then I'm like, okay, 2 hours later. But so just your process right now, a couple things that maybe you're thinking about or considering.
Yeah.
You know, what's the ideal trophy icon look like for you?
Oh man, I'm like really picky about icons. So for example, if you're like, so I like to stick with like the same style with all the icons. And I don't think that's something that's considered enough in design, like matching your icon style. And so like the icons that I have, where am I? Up here are outlined. So I'm looking for something that's outlined. This one isn't, but it's so small I don't think it could survive outlined. But yeah, so I wanted something that is outlined, but like very simple in style. And these like look a lot like cups. I don't think a lot of them even look like like a trophy, like what I wanted. So, right? Don't they look like cups?
They do. Or chalice.
Maybe we can start, yeah, chalice.
Or a snifter. No, snifter doesn't have handles.
Yeah. Maybe we'll do a metal instead. So this one's fun. Sifter, is that what you said?
Yeah.
So I'm just downloading. Oh shoot, gotta log in. Okay. Download SVG. Creative Commons.
Have you submitted any icons to the Noun project?
I haven't, no.
Maybe
Maybe I
something to consider.
Put a little magnifying glass in there. I think that's still downloading. Is it? Let's see. Let's move all those things out of the way. Okay. Have you done a Noun project icon?
I actually, I wouldn't say icon design is something that
Yeah.
I have in my toolkit. I mean, I like doing it. I think I think there's a lot of other people that do it better than me, and so therefore I like to just kind of rely on those resources to help, where I can spend time on doing other
Yeah.
things. So.
Yeah, there's some amazing icon designers out there. It's pretty impressive what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna make that the pink since I use that over here. See, there's another outlined icon. So also like rounded edges and things like that to keep in mind when you're looking for consistency, like how your edges look, or borders. Yeah, it's really helpful. Noun project. Okay, so 39 workouts completed.
You did it.
We did it. That's where we should put it. 39. Okay, and then I want to also do some kind of like goal setter in here. So I did draw a circle on my wireframe, but looking at it, I don't know if that's gonna make sense with the other circles that are already on this page. So maybe it should be something different. Other than a circle. Maybe we can do a little rounded rectangle instead.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it'll fill up that space nicely. Do you agree?
Mm-hmm. Just nods.
Yeah. Also, I'm using like the same corner radius on all of my buttons and such. Oh, I need to make that lighter. Although now looking at it, I think that corner radius might need to be a little less intense since it's a smaller element. I don't think that the corner radius needs to match these because then it'll just subtract from the entire rectangle. So that's my thinking behind it, my justification. Okay. So, what did I write here? 3 workouts a week. Maybe goal. Three workouts. 3 classes a week. So it's more consistent with the overall model. Can make that, let's see, a little bit smaller. But I'd like Actually, I want these to be, I want the goal to be bigger. Okay.
Thank you for those of you that have started to submit some portfolios. Another question about sources of inspiration. What are some of the maybe the places or things that you rely on for inspiration? Pinterest, Behance being some of them.
Okay, that's what I was looking for inspiration, Pinterest, or do something different. So yeah, yesterday I mentioned Pinterest is like really great, oddly enough, because everyone just pins from different design websites. And you can get like really specific with your searches there. So that's very helpful. Behance, of course, Dribble. There's a few other ones like Design Inspiration, I think. Design Inspiration. They're all bookmarked on my computer. And then something else that I do, or like, of course, these shows are great, but podcasts are really like more inspirational or motivational as far as like when they're related to design. Like I just learn a lot while I'm working. So it's pretty cool to like hear other creatives and learn about their process and like what inspired them. And so that in itself is like inspirational for me. Maybe not so much like visually speaking, but just like I'll listen to a podcast on creative burnout and like learn how to deal with burnout.
Right.
And that's like very helpful for designers. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah,
Really?
I've actually found Instagram is a good resource.
Oh, yeah.
There's all kinds of, I mean, there's different formats to kind of digest content, but Instagram's been a really interesting resource to kind of, as people start sharing UI, UX, it can be landscapes, it can be photography, it can be hand-painted artwork.
Yeah.
I think it varies where inspiration, what type of inspiration.
Do you bookmark them?
I do.
Yeah. In like different folders?
I think right now I just have one folder,
Yeah.
which is just
I
design
just
inspiration.
learned you can do like different folders now in Instagram, and I think they're called folders. I don't know what Instagram calls it, but like, yeah, different boards or whatever where you pull stuff from Instagram. So that's cool. Also Facebook, I'm in like a few Facebook groups for like designers. You can find some, like there's often like local design groups. Then there's some like, I think there's like a really big one with like thousands of people for like UX UI on Facebook. And that's a cool way to like ask people for feedback. And like just the other day I was asking people like, what do you recommend? An iPad Pro or just a regular iPad for illustration design and stuff? So it's just, you can like put polls in there. So that's another way to kind of connect with your community.
Yeah, one of the Facebook groups, Designers Guild, or Designer Guild, I think, is one that I'm a part of. There's a lot of active conversations in there, a lot of great questions.
Yeah.
They do portfolio reviews. So all kinds of resources and communities out there to support.
Yeah, even outside of the internet, you can join like the AIGA, and there's also like Dribble chapters as well. So there's all kinds of cool design meetups. If they're in your area, if they're not, maybe you could start one and be a leader of design in your community.
Do you have a particular UX or UI designer that you find inspiring?
I do. There's Stephen Gates. Are you familiar with him? It's Stephen, like PH, Stephen, but I think he just goes by Stephen. He is. He's done like, I think the W Hotel. He's done like a pretty awesome hotel app, and he's also like a conference speaker, and he has a great podcast on anything in design, and he does a lot on UX UI and even just like how to lead teams, and he's like just a good speaker too. And he has a Facebook group as well, where you can like join and chat with people. So he's pretty cool. So I would
That's great.
recommend looking him up
Very cool.
for UX UI designer inspiration.
Thanks for asking a question, Oscar.
Do you have any faves?
Yeah. I think more recently, I've been inspired primarily by Jared Arandu, who's a local designer here, who I had the chance to meet over coffee a few times.
Yeah.
And he does a podcast called High Resolution, which is an excellent resource for content where he talks to design representatives from Airbnb or previous companies like Dropbox and Mailbox. But he does a video on YouTube as well as the podcast, and he's a wonderful person. He's great to talk to.
Yeah.
He's very grounded. So yeah, really, really inspired. Not specifically just about the work also, but just as someone that carries themselves as a designer and problem solver.
That's good. So many good
I also think there's some
tips.
talented illustrators out there like Meg Robichaud and other people that have kind of done some of the Shopify illustrations and other things. Also personally inspired by people that I work with at Atlassian. We have an illustrator, his name is Trace Bird,
Yeah.
Byrd.
Yeah.
And he does a lot of our illustrations for our company. And so
Oh, cool.
also a wonderful person to work with. So really, really love his work.
That's good.
And we are 10 minutes out from the portfolio
Ooh.
deadline.
I think I'm going to change up these colors. Not really feeling that like jarring pink in this portion here. So let's see. Blue's feeling better. Why does it say that's a border? I guess because it's so small, it's on border.
So I'm seeing some new names in here, Raven. Just in case you're joining, we've got Alissa Suzanne here on day 3 of Adobe Live. We're working on a gym app. I keep on changing its name because it's a product for gyms
Yes.
to use, to offer classes
Yes.
to people for their gym.
Right. For their classes.
For their classes.
Yes. So this would be the progress page. I think we need to I need to work on that goal. I'm not liking quite how it looks, but I made it mint green so the user knows that they can maybe click on that and change it like their goal per week. Maybe it needs an icon, maybe it needs something else other than like a rectangle. Maybe it needs to go across. Yeah.
What are some of the things that you're thinking critically about right now?
How to get the user to click on this instead of not just thinking it's just an element as part of the app. So I'm hoping that the color would engage them to click. I kind of like bringing it across the whole thing. That would stay consistent, but this would change when they fill out their goal. I could also do a text box that implies that they would be filling something out as well, instead of just making it a hidden feature. So yeah, there's definitely different ways to do it, and I would be able to identify how functional it is, like within user testing, once I would do that prototype. So I don't know, maybe it needs like a little box instead that explains like you're supposed to click here. Something like that. Yeah. Something like the number would be inside, but then classes would be out. How's that? Maybe that? And then kind of give it like an inside, or can we do an inside shadow? I don't know if we can do that, but be like a little shadow. Goal 3 classes a week. What are you guys thinking? Does that make more sense? Maybe it needs a little, the little text icon, like the cursor icon there. I think that helps out. So maybe we can put in separation here.
So in the next 5 minutes, we'll have the deadline for portfolio submission. In case you're having trouble finding out where to submit your portfolio, you can click on the tab which is located in the chat view, just above the chat, and share your work.
Okay.
Oh no, we hear it too.
Oh, you do? We were like quietly giggling, like we hope they don't hear that. Okay. Yeah. Oh, and then of course this should just extend past here as well. Like it would be like something like that, where they know to scroll.
Oh hey, how's it going, Paul? Great to see you.
Good to see you.
Hi.
Doing great today.
Paul's
Thank
in,
you.
everybody. Make sure
Are
to
you getting
say.
a little sad now? It's like the last day. You get a little choked out.
Yeah.
Nostalgic already.
It's been a
Do
journey.
we have the Kleenex box? For tears?
Probably good.
Yeah, we can get some.
Have you had anyone cry before?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I might need to revisit that, but I'm liking where it's going. It's got a good foundation. Yeah, I think that top part maybe needs some work. But I'd like to also start some prototyping. I did some the first day a little bit, but just to give you guys an idea of what prototyping looks like in XD. So shall we begin?
Let's do it.
Okay. It looks like you're about to get up. You're ready to go.
I feel like I could use the small 4-minute window to step out to go to the bathroom, but I'm not sure yet. It's part of the anxiety of being on the show
Yeah.
and having to drink water.
I asked that question before I came on like multiple times. It's like, what if, do I just take a break live to go to the bathroom? What if I need to go?
Yeah, it's more like, how can I plan my exit if that's the case?
Yeah.
Do you really need to go?
Yeah. But I think I can hold out.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Another.
I think if I could just slither out of this chair into a trap door and like appear off screen and then go to that would be ideal. But
Like 35 more minutes you think I'll make it?
yeah, I'll be okay.
Will you make it? Just we actually have diapers on.
Yeah.
So we can just sit here and design all day.
It's
That was
true.
a joke.
No,
just
it's
so you
true.
know.
I mean,
It's
I
true.
have Thanks for hanging out, Ratul. Great to see you, Greg, Reza.
What am I doing? Oh, I'm doing prototyping. Okay. Got distracted. All right, so I am setting this page as our home page for prototyping. And I shall start. So we did this, I think, the first day. So this will, you just double click on your element and then where you want to route it to. So your target, I guess, is what it says here. So your target, I would bring that to class search without a transition. So I'm going to do that. And then I didn't develop out like what happens when you click on the instructor, but I did do the next navigation for the weekday. So I'm going to prototype that or direct that to weekday search. What happened here? Did I already have one? None. That was weird. Must have been there from when I was working before. Okay, so instructors to here.
And so just to let everybody know, so part of the benefits of XD is to be able to prototype and take your existing artboards and kind of connect them the way that Alyssa's doing right now. So you clicked the prototype tab,
Yes.
which is in the upper left-hand corner.
Right here.
There are differences in the interface between kind of like when you're in design mode and you can actually design things and push pixels around versus when in the prototype. So sometimes I kind of get in there and be like, why doesn't this thing? Oh yeah, I'm in prototype mode.
Yeah.
So just a reminder.
Yep. Actually, I don't know why I did that there. That does not go there. It would happen here. So I was like on a roll with these here. Let me remove that. So this button, once you click here, it would take you to your classes, weekday class list. This is why it's important to title your artboards when you're doing this. You're like, wait, where? Okay, that's right. And then book. So once they click on, like, double clicking Inception right now, ungrouping and grouping. So once they click on book, I think that's the class that I did that for. Yeah, 8 a.m. hip hop cardio. We'll go to your booked, and then so that portion is done there. Then let's go back to, let's do this guy. So this takes you back here. I think that would make sense. Taking you back to the class page in case you need to book another class or whatever. So let's do the X out to take you back to weekday class list. What else do we got going on? And then let's do the progress here. Did I title that? Didn't title that artboard. Okay, back to the prototyping section of XD. So we go to progress. And cool, I think that makes sense. Anything I'm forgetting? Let me know if I need to prototype something else. I know I'm forgetting something, probably the loading page. We'll do navigation. Maybe a dissolve would be fun. One thing I wanted to include here was also just like a preview. Of this page here. Oops. Did that little guy transfer? No, I didn't. He just dragged. Why isn't he coming over? All right, well, I'll have to figure that out later. But let's at least put this here. So you can toggle between the navigation page and the class page. So that goes to, nope, not weekday search, class search. Okay, cool. I think we're good on prototyping.
We did it.
Probably missed stuff, but that's an overview of how you would do it. And then we can preview that in a little bit.
Awesome. So we've hit the deadline for portfolio submissions. Shall we take a glance? A gander?
Let's do it.
All right. So first of all, thank you for everybody that submitted. We pulled up a couple Behance profiles and portfolios that we'll kind of share and talk about.
Kind of do the little intro.
But first, we have an intro video. How did we get here?
I think we teleported.
I've been transported. This is amazing. How's it look back there, Megan?
It looks great.
Do we look cool?
Whoops, I just hit the mic.
All right, so I think this signifies it's time for the portfolio review.
I couldn't hear anything in here. I had to take it off. Sorry, guys.
What? Oh man, watch out for Thanos. That was awesome.
Oh, and look behind us. That's cool too.
Yeah, I like the space.
What is that? Wow.
Control center.
The control center. Oh, I like that.
Okay, so we've got a couple portfolios. We'll pull them up. Thanks again, everybody that submitted
Thank you, guys.
screens. We've got a portfolio screen in the background. So first we're looking at Brent Fox. Brent is a creative art director at Wahoo Studios in Utah.
Ooh. Cool. Wahoo.
Awesome. Any particular project you'd like to? I guess we can focus on UI and UX. So maybe we'll take these first two projects. We got mobile UI UX design. This is a mobile concept for a fictitious company.
Nice.
It's a very detailed description.
Yeah. Like the animations.
Really nice.
Little slider up there. That's cool.
The app is called Control. It is a world leader in home automation.
Oh, that's helpful. We need that. Yeah, I like your description there too, kind of short and sweet, but maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's a tagline of the fictitious company, but it helps explain kind of what we're looking at. So that's good. Let's see. I think what would be helpful is maybe just adding some variation in the icons. So if you're like doing a dining room, let's see what pops up. Or living room, for example, those are lights. Maybe adding like an icon that pertains to that specific room, since the since it already says lights at the top slider. I think that the user would know that they're already on lights, so maybe doing like different icons for each room. What do you think?
Yeah, so I think maybe what you're saying about the icons, I'm also seeing visually, they kind of all blend together
Yeah.
for me visually. And so
Yeah.
the more you can create focal points for how you want to direct someone's line of sight, anytime you have like a large grouping of a lot of the same or similar elements, they kind of turn into wallpapers, a term that I use, where you kind of have things that just blend into the background. I really like the pie slider, as somebody coined in the chat.
Yeah, I like that too. That's neat.
And I just think overall the representation of work, you know, the composition, you've got the logo, the kind of like large watermark in the background. I think in this screen in particular, you're showing 3 screens.
Yeah.
I think that's really nice, just to show the different steps. You know, if you wanted to, maybe scale up one of these screens or one of these devices and let us know which one you really want us to focus on. If the goal is to have us read all 3 and you're achieving that by staggering them, then really nice job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and really nice addition to having the prototype in here. It's great just to see. I mean, it goes without saying, but it's really nicely put together, but it also helps us kind of connect the dots of maybe how the interactions and screens work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, really nice job, Brent. Let's look at one more. So this is
nice.
a restaurant guide with a personal touch.
Ah.
So we've got some sketches showing process.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's always nice to add your process in there too, so they can see like your design thinking behind your app. 4 guys eat. So what does it say again at the top there?
So this is a restaurant guide with a personal touch. Get recommendations from someone you trust and someone who likes the same food you do.
That's cool. I like that idea.
So really nice job demonstrating, you know, kind of the finished product as well as the process work. I think prioritizing the sketches on the top of the screen is a really nice way to orientate, hey, here's where I started and here's where I came from.
Mm-hmm.
And then going to the device in situ on a table is a really nice context just to kind of get a feel for maybe how this product would look if I were looking at it on a table. So you're orientating it in a way that someone would actually view the device, which is really, really nicely done.
That's good feedback. I like that.
And then overall, like the family of colors, the palette, everything looks really nice. I'm sensing like a little bit of texture, a little bit of noise on the color, which is a nice kind of like tactile feel. I guess maybe it makes you think of a menu or maybe how you kind of think about it. And I can see it also in how he layered the numbers in the logo. So yeah, really nice execution.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that feels weird to me is you're using a real photo for the unagi here.
Yeah.
And it kind of takes you out of the whole really nice form vocabulary, illustrations, kind of the custom designed icons. It really kind of just seems like it doesn't fit there. So definitely not a request to go and design individual sushi, though that sounds like a lot of fun. But maybe just something to consider in how you view those photos in your app, as opposed to things like that.
I think maybe just like a different treatment. Maybe just like just a rectangle or square of the photo, because it is kind of consistent with the circles where the illustrations are. Yeah, I think that maybe just a different treatment, if you still want to keep the photo, would be cool.
Yeah, like you could do a gallery or something.
Yeah.
Like you could have a way to look at the photos. And Brent, sounds like you do game design, which sounds really, really exciting. So this is, we can look at maybe one more UI for Go. Fictitious travel company. Cool. Nice use of composition. Dark UI is really nice. Should we look at one more?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go for it.
Awesome.
Italy comes up again.
So we've got Chaman Sharma here. He's got a few projects. This is a WhatsApp redesign case study.
Ooh, I'm intrigued. WhatsApp does need a little bit of a facelift. I actually refused to download it because of that.
Wow. So let's scroll down. Looks like there's a lot of nice content. I apologize, we probably won't have enough time to go over everything and read it thoroughly, but it looks like a very thorough case study. Colors, primary.
Why the redesign? That's cool.
Yeah, so kind of a really nice problem statement.
Look at all those little prototype lines.
And then we're looking at the screens.
Nice.
So this is actually for a material design. So this is
Yeah.
for an Android device. You
Yeah.
can tell by looking at the system bar, and also this is a known pattern for their tab navigation. Cool. So
Yeah.
feedback for Chaman?
I dig it. I think that the way that you presented it was really great. On the front end, just like giving context. I mean, it's a case study, so that's really good to add just why you're doing it. And I think I like how the screens are presented. Maybe it's a preference, but I'd just like to see it on a phone. But that's not like, I mean, I think it's still really well presented. Yeah. So these are photos to add, I guess, within the message, or is that how it works?
Yeah, it looks like this is kind of the
Yeah.
editor or photo adding component.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Cool. Let's look at one more.
Great job.
We can also, it doesn't have to be mobile. We can look at some things. This is iCab booking landing page.
Cool.
Really nice composition so far. It's nice to see like the extra something that I haven't done.
Yeah, me
But
neither.
just to see how far people can kind of take the project posters. And
Yeah, very well represented. iCab.
very cool.
Yeah.
So some things that I really appreciate on this landing page, which maybe were intentional, maybe weren't. The photography and kind of the crop is really well framed.
Yeah.
Also the hint at the hand holding the phone and the phone kind of hinting at the sign up form. If it was intentional, awesome. It's a really good way to think about focal points and how people view content. So you're basically leading the eye
Yep.
into that, which is a really nice subtle touch.
Yep. Rotate your photos if you need to lead the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I think I learned that for the very first time when I was doing yearbook in high school, about leading the eye with a photo and not putting the photo, like directing it into the binding of the yearbook,
Oh yeah, been there.
but to lead it outwards. And that helped for just like booklets and brochures later on.
Cool. We'll look at one more real quick.
Yeah.
So this is SAS Pro from Chaman.
Oh,
Really nice representation of work.
it's moving. That's nice. Wow, you're inspiring me to put more presentation on my stuff.
Cool. What do you think, just as we're kind of scrolling through this work, I mean, what do you think are some good things just to think about or share as you do a portfolio? So outside of just kind of critiquing the work, what do you just think are some valuable things?
Yeah, I think mock-ups are really helpful for or explaining the format. Like, for example, here, showcasing that it's like for like a website or web app, showcasing that it's in a computer, like so people know what it's applied to versus like, oh, is this an iPhone app? Is this a iPad? Is this a computer? And just seeing that, and it also just kind of brings credibility. I feel like it like brings it to life. It's like people can imagine it actually on a device.
Mm-hmm.
Or even if it's like a print design, like instead of just putting the JPEG of the flyer or whatever it is, like actually mocking up that flyer, and like or if you could get someone like holding it in a picture. I think that would be exactly like he did. It's helpful to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think for me, some of the things that I always look for is the intention.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what brought you to the work that you're showing, and what was the purpose or rationale and how you approach that work, which really helps. You know, as you frame your portfolio, it's important to think about the audience and who's going to be viewing it. but providing your intention or your rationale or how you got there
Yeah.
is a really good way to frame your viewer to let them understand how they can view your work.
Yeah.
I think that there are absolutely opportunities to just do visual design challenges like we're doing in the daily challenge. And then I think that there are opportunities to show case studies which go deeper into your process, talk about things that surprised you, talk about things that you learned throughout the process, and to kind of be able to walk somebody through how you got to your final solution.
Yeah. That's why people want to hire you, because they not just hiring you for good aesthetic, but your thought process behind it and your strategy.
Yep. Also being open to collaboration, working well with others, all those things come into
Yes.
play every single day.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks so much for the portfolio submissions. Do we pick a winner for the portfolio submission? Is that a thing? No? Okay, we're just hanging out today. We're just critiquing some
Everyone's a
stuff.
winner.
I'm just here to hang out. Okay, awesome. So thanks so much for everybody submitting. I know you have the prototype that you'd like to get to before we wrap up,
Yeah.
and then we can sign off. We've got Megan here in studio. She's coming up next with Paul. And yeah,
Okay.
let's end
cool.
with a bang.
Let me actually just swap out the logo. I probably should have done that in the front end. Nope, let's do that. Hopefully this stays aligned as I design. You know what? I don't think it will. Will it? Where's that at?
Hey Cedric, thanks for joining us.
Just making sure all my pixels are aligned on that little logo. $150. Okay. Hopefully that works. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so let's see how that looks. Let me just make that consistent there. So I'm going into the prototype. I guess I just pressed play here, and it easily helps you just see what you created. So let's see how it looks. So this is what you see when you first get in there, and then it'll take you to your navigation, find classes. I actually wanted, oh, I didn't do that one yet. Shoot.
Happens every time.
Yeah. Let's see. Oh, I started it, but I didn't go back. Let me do that really quick. None. Okay, cool.
These are kind of some of the pitfalls that you run into, right, when you prototype. It's really good reminders just of the things that you can really get a sense for when you need to click or view it on a device, the things that you forgot. So.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's start over here again. Okay. So, we go to find classes. Ah, I'm like so behind here. Let me go here to weekday and weekday search. There we go. Find classes. We book. No sweat, you're booked.
Boom. You
Add
did
to
it.
calendar. And then you go back. Let's see, is that there? Yep. Progress. This page does need work, so don't hate. But that's overall so far the foundation for the progress page. And yeah, I think is that everything we covered? Wow.
There's a lot of beautiful screens there.
Yeah. I think that
Awesome.
is everything.
We did it. So we can probably share this.
We did it.
Actually, we can show people maybe how to share the prototype. Would be awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we can make sure this is available and share it for people. Alissa, thank you so much. Oh yeah, that's Baby Reese. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
been a
you
wonderful
guys.
3 days.
Yeah, it
How
has.
you feeling? It's all done.
It's all done. I can't believe it. I'm honored again to just have been able to share with you guys all of my design knowledge and to hopefully inspire you guys. And yeah, and of course, thank you to Adobe and to you for being a great host.
I'm just here to hang out. It's fine, but thank you. But it's been wonderful. Honestly, the 3 days have been really, really great just to see your process. Through iconography design, through color palette choices, through UX, from sketching to final high fidelity to prototype, all done within 3 days, 6 hours over time, which is pretty incredible. So yeah, thank you so much. Everybody make sure to reach out to Alissa, say hi on Twitter, scribblepie.com. You can check her out there.
Yes.
Maybe on Instagram. You can follow up with her and send messages. Definitely, let her know how she did. Which was a wonderful job. And yeah, we really appreciate everybody being active in the community. Stick around. We've got Megan coming up, and then Zach at the end of the day. This was awesome.
Thank you, guys. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So stay fit.
Awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.
Bye.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
See ya. Bye.